Hello, MBB here. As BT8 approaches, people are hyping up Imperialdramon as one of the best decks of the format. And so I wanted to quickly go over the Imperialdramon combo if you have not seen it already, and go over a couple of the ways you might be able to counter this combo. Let's begin. So here's what the core setup of our combo looks like. We've been playing some Digimon. We have Davis, our memory tamer, in play. We have an XVmon in our raising area. We have Stingmon, Imperialdramon, and Imperialdramon Dragon Mode in our hand. First, they promote the XVmon. XVmon swings security with jamming. The jamming Demivmon allows us to draw a card. This card most likely survives because of the jamming keyword. We get to play Stingmon. Stingmon's effect reduces it to 3 because we have a blue Digimon in play. We are then allowed to perform our fusion into Imperialdramon. That Digivolve will give us another card. This Digimon now has all its inheritables and all its abilities reset. And Imperialdramon gets to bot deck a 6k or less, so we board removal, unsuspend, and can unsuspend the Digimon when attacking. So it gets 2 extra attacks. Swing, XVmon gives us jamming, so it most likely lives. Because we have jamming, we draw another card with Demivmon, and we draw a card with Stingmon. Unsuspend with its own effect. We get to swing again. Draw another card because Stingmon is not once per turn. And then finally, we give our opponent 4 memory, digivolving into our Imperialdramon, drawing a 6th card. Imperialdramon's effect allows us to play 2 different cards from our source, specifically a blue and green Digimon. So we'd grab the XVmon and the Stingmon, and we have essentially accomplished our combo. We've done 3 different checks and have created 3 new bodies which threaten lethal on board immediately. On top of this, we drew 6 brand new cards, which means our deck hyper accelerated through its deck while accomplishing this very devastating combo. If before our combo we happen to have a Davis and Ken in play, this means that we could have had more memory to start with, which means we'd give our opponent even less memory. We would also be able to use its effect, suspending it to untap our Imperialdramon, which means it's even harder to remove from our board. This board, regardless, leaves a 3-pronged threat. The threat being XVmon, which already has jamming for another swing, and the 3 bodies total, which could threaten lethal if our opponent only has 5 security. The 2 bodies individually allow us to possibly get into a second Imperialdramon to continue doing burst damage to our opponent and drawing cards with Stingmon and having jamming. And if they only remove the small bodies, we have the potential to go into our Imperialdramon fighter mode, which threatens to remove bodies from the board, provide 2 or even 3 more swings if we have the Davis and Ken to finish our opponent from that angle. As you can see, the combo is pretty devastating and provides a lot of pressure in a very quick capacity. So there are 4 main ways we could try and deal with this combo. The first is the most proactive, and that is to wall them out. Create a big blocker that prevents them from even establishing the combo in the first place. While they may be able to move up into the Imperialdramon stack, they won't be able to draw as many cards or get the 3 damage in that makes the combo so devastating. So the way we can do that is we have to hit a 9k blocking threshold. Some common ways to do this are we have Magnamon, which as long as you have 1 armor Digimon in your trash, will be hit that 9k threshold and be able to wall it the turn it digivolves. There is a big X antibody style stack with specifically the blocker inheritable. Then there is the Black War Greymon with his blocker inheritable. All 3 of these kind of options prevent the Imperialdramon from being able to swing into us and possibly give us something to answer it in the future. The second way we kind of answer this card is much more reactive and a little luck-based, and that is with security bombs. Decks that can play cards such as Flybull or Chaos Degrade, Wyvern's Breath, Schwartz-Larotz, any deck that really plays cards that could prevent our opponent's swings from making their way through without getting punished, prevent the Imperialdramon from fully moving up its stack, and helps us clear their threats before they've done too much damage to us. This means we can develop our own threats while our security protects us. The third way we can deal with this threat is let all of the checks happen and have a very consistent way to punish them on the crackback. This could be things like Chimeramon, with a 4-color stack, which can minus 4 DP from all of their board, wiping out all of the small threats and allowing it to swing over the dragon mode if the dragon mode was still suspended. There's Nidhogg, which can bot deck all of their Digimon, even the dragon mode if it's still suspended. Mastamon if it's properly set up enough, although this deck does have the issue of sometimes it takes too long to set up to be able to crack back on them, but if it is set up, it can wipe their board out and secure itself in a winning position. Black War Greymon again, if he has can attack unsuspended Digimon inheritable from the Metal Greymon. This would allow him to swing into the threats and remove them as needed. Or something this as old school as Gabubon, which allows us to bot deck all 3 of his cards and swing over the Imperialdramon. And while it is dangerous, as you probably put yourself into lethal territory on some follow-up swing, they mostly have committed all of their on-board or immediately threatening resources to allow you to get the Gabubon play. So you are threatening a follow-up 3 checks on them, plus whatever you have established. The 4th and final tool I want to talk about is the most situational, as the game doesn't have that many resources that allow us to do this, and that is to cut their legs off before they really get running by destroying their Tamers. So cards like Lucemon Chaos Mode, Black War Greymon, and Zwart Defeat allow us to remove their Tamers, which lets them get that 3 memory threshold, which allows them to go off and do this crazy combo. These are a little situational, especially Zwart Defeat and Lucemon are much more expensive, so this isn't the most reliable way to deal with the combo, but it is something I thought I should mention. Finally, I want to bring up Black War Greymon once again. While it does seem like this deck has a ton of answers to the Imperialdramon deck, it does, but be warned, this deck does have some flaws in itself, that it is kind of slow. If you notice, the Black War Greymon and the Metal Greymon have 4 costs to Digivolve. It means it's a little slow to get it set up, so it might not be the most reliable answer, but it's definitely a good answer. Hopefully you found this video informative and helpful. I know that Imperialdramon is going to be a pretty common threat this format, as people predict its tier 1 status, as well as its straightforward and ease of use. Hopefully this video helps you learn how to play the deck if you're playing it yourself, or how to play against it if you're playing some other kind of deck. Anyway, if you appreciate this video, make sure to do the YouTube thing down below, and have a wonderful day.